couple of weeks ago, I observed one of my cooperating teachers' lessons, and that's the one that I'm going to reflect on for this assignment. This lesson was a couple of weeks ago, and I did it a couple of weeks ago because I've been teaching the vast majority of the lessons for the past couple of weeks, and also because I wanted to have a chance to be able to see how the assessment turned out on the student's unit test. This lesson was based off of SOL US 1 4A with the newest revision that goes into effect in 2008, I believe, or 2008 version that goes into effect next year. The lesson was on early European exploration, and this is for 6th grade history. And I've used lessons somewhat similar to this. They're my cooperating teachers' lessons, as well as some of my own material to teach for about the past month or so. This was one of the days that I really set out and observed the students and how the lesson went. In some classes it went better, in some it definitely did not go well at all, but the basic gist of the lesson is the same in every class. Starting with the first class of the day, which is absolutely one of the most challenging classes I can really imagine having. There's an aide in the class, and many students have multiple learning disabilities, which really makes the teaching of the class a lot more challenging than I think it would be otherwise. Not impossible, but definitely just challenging. Excuse me. This was a really basic lesson that was designed to convey information about European exploration, and it was used in all of the different classes, but was definitely used most ineffectively in the class that has so many special needs students. It's based on a program called Interactive Reading and Interactive Reading and Note-Taking Series. It's a purchased curriculum. It's based completely off of the Virginia SOL curriculum framework, and I believe they cover basically kindergarten through 7th grade, so not getting into too advanced material. And the basis of it is to develop students' basic note-taking skills, as well as creating visual summaries so that they're able to get that knowledge so that they can pass the standards of learning tests that we value very highly in this state. The way that it works is intended to work is that the teacher will make hard copies of the notes for all of the students, and then use an active board or smart board to project them up in front of the class. A student will read, teacher will call on a student who will read a paragraph, and they'll read through it. He'll highlight key terms, key words, key concepts, talk about them, pick out vocabulary, have students figure out through a variety of activities what all the words mean and define them. And then the students complete a visual summary, just a little picture to help them remember what's going on. This is intended really to help the students who struggle with reading skills so that they might have a visual cue to jog their memory. Purpose of this lesson is recall. There's not a whole lot of upper level thinking to it, nor is there really intended to be. It's basically about the SOLs, and that's where it starts, that's where it stops. It's not really a lesson that I find inspiring, but I guess it's one that's necessary. This is very much so a teacher-led activity. There is some room for student questions, student involvement, student engagement, but the teacher is without a doubt the one doing the lesson. Excuse me. The second activity that they completed after this was a daily review that contained about 20 questions or so, and about a third of them were based off of prior units, everything from geography and the earliest settlers up to the current unit. It's about 2/3 of the questions coming from the current unit on European exploration. Now, most of these questions test recall and nothing else. They're multiple choice, or they are fill in the blank. There's very rarely a short answer. There's occasionally coloring maps. but really it's fill in the blank. The emphasis for this activity as well is to design and assess recall skills. This activity was actually taken up and graded by the teacher, or more accurately by me, and recorded as one of the students' grades. Now, there are some things to be said for this lesson, and I think that in a way it was pretty effective. Repetition and talking about words using lots of synonyms, antonyms, putting the definition different ways, having students define the words. It's intended to create recall and at least knowledge of what the material is, but maybe not necessarily an understanding of it. The lesson incorporates students in some way. They're the ones reading, they're the ones taking notes and drawing the pictures for the most part. Generally for the first paragraph or so, the cooperating teacher would draw an example picture, and then from then on the students would go. When I've used the activity, I've had students come up and draw, and I've also really encouraged them to include vocabulary words in their pictures to make the activity a little bit more worthwhile.